today's word of the day. Word of the day. Pulley. P-U-L-L-E-Y. Noun. It's a noun, and its plural is pulleys. That is P-U-L-L-E-Y-S. It is a simple machine used especially for lifting weights, consisting especially of a wheel with a grooved rim in which a pulled rope or chain is run. 2. It is a wheel churned by or driven or driving a belt. The Greek word polos, which means pole and pivot, is where this word originates from, or is derived from. Pulleys. There's pulleys at the gym. Cable machine uses them. Elevators use pulley systems. And pulley systems are quite funny for the gym because they are made to lift weights. But when your main goal is to lift the weight at whatever it may be, the pulley system, well, a complicated pulley system reduces the overall weight and provides an illusion that you actually are strong. Again, this is why I've been reverting to free weights, because it is practical. Not realistic, but practical. So, that being said, today's arms. I do like using cable machines for resistance, for holding negative positions, and not really for the actual weight that it is, but rather the tension you can hold. It's an illusion with cable machines. It's an illusion, as is with machines, with workout machines. More and more and more, I go ahead and dive into being practical, and the more I see the fallacies within my life. The illusion of security, the false hope of safety, relying a lot more upon myself and not the system to I forgot. I'm doing road work up ahead, so I go ahead and switch lanes. Yeah. I gotta be honest here. Yesterday I went without eating sweets and I didn't want to mention it. And yesterday I woke up it was last night, but it was slightly yesterday because it was like 10:30. And I went to bed at like 9:30ish. So an hour into my sleep, I woke up and I fucked up like a whole row of Oreos. I fucked up a whole row, and yeah, there's the single point of failure. So I gotta go ahead and truly accept what is this car about to do? Not that I can't achieve my goals now, but living with my parents will have me eating some form of sweets. You might say, well, it's just self-control. It's self-control. when you've been eating sweets for the entirety or most of your life, and they're still within proximity as you're trying to sway away from eating sweets, it's still slightly difficult. Or it's like, well, you lack self-control, you like this, you like... And I will say, there's a lack of self-control. That is true. I'm not going to dismiss that. I'm not going to excuse it either. But I also am accepting the fact that I'm not trying to be a massive bodybuilder. I'm trying to gain muscle mass to actually protect myself, to, have something to show that I consistently put in work. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it off at that. I started writing my task on my phone, like, okay, what am I gonna do each day? And beyond the gym and uploading these voice recordings, after I've left school, and not talking about the pleasures of just video gaming and reading, I don't find myself doing a lot of the creating. Although this is a creative process, it's a lot of self-reflection, there's a lot of diving into, and really reflecting on my readings. Not directly. It's not like I am directly mentioning them. And I believe there's a bit more of that I need to do, and to practice my crafts a bit more. I am glad that I'm doing this now, or exploring this concept of, hashing out who I am becoming at this age, rather than have gone into a PhD and have to have done it afterwards. It's just interesting. It really is. It's grand. It's beautiful. Yeah. I applied to another job yesterday. It was to be an associate biologist. A company I pass by, or their office I pass by every single morning. We'll see, I wrote a cover letter for that one. And in that cover letter, I spoke casually rather than formally, because that was my way of standing out. And because now many people can quote-unquote write formal documents with the use of artificial intelligence. And so I didn't do that. I understand AI is a tool I can leverage. But for something that is expressing who I am, I'm not going to use that to write a cover letter. Even if it hinders, hinder my application by showing that. I believe it doesn't hinder it. It rather just keeps it about the same now. Showing who I am. Showing who I am. Can't predict the future, but I can predict tendencies and patterns. Oh, man. Does that mean I should just get nothing but a whole bunch of protein snacks to go ahead and snack on in the middle of the night? Should I be buying the protein Pop-Tarts? Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. And I know if I was to live alone, I wouldn't buy the sweets. And I know that for a fact because I've lived not completely alone. I've had roommates. But I wouldn't buy myself sweets. Now, at the time, did I have a girlfriend who loved to eat out? And I went along with the joyride of just eating out all the time. Yeah, I did do that. I did do that. Great memories eating out all the time. But I grew up eating like that, and having the choice on having home-cooked food or eating out, I choose to have home-cooked food, even if it's just the same thing over and over and over again. As long as it's healthy. And not healthy, but nutritionally dense. Let me place it that way. Nutritionally dense. So, I'm still building skills. I'm still understanding what I want, and I'm understanding more and more and more about myself. And more importantly, what actually interests me, what am I becoming, and what do I really want, and what do I envision for myself moving into the next step of my life. I appreciate that I'm home with my family, and I get to see my family all the time, because there will come a day when I will not have that opportunity and possibility to see them every single day. That's just the truth. And the sooner I accept that, the more I appreciate what I currently have. It may not seem it may not look it when I sit at home with my family, as I still try to get myself situated in life and get my footing everywhere. However, I do appreciate it. I do appreciate the meals that my mom preps. I appreciate seeing my family. And, well, what else can a person ask for? A lot, actually. A lot in this tormented place called the United States of America, where your dreams can come true. They can. And even being poor in this country is better than many other countries. Except it is instilled through media, through ads, through other people socially, to sort of already have it, quote unquote, all figured out, and not express the hardships, the struggle that a person goes through, because that's apparently seen as, quote unquote, weak. But I believe it's also because at the same time, when people go ahead and express that story, there's this narrative and pushed idea that you just want the easy way. No, you gotta put in the work. And it's a sword that stabs people, where it's when you express that you need help, They tell you to figure it out yourself. But I believe it's the people who aren't really working on other things themselves and wish that it magically showed up, all their questions are answered, it just magically shows up without putting in the hard work, building the discipline, and having gone through the struggles that keep people down. Because the people at the top do want to bring other people to the top. But they don't want to hand it to you. They want to go ahead and express life mottos, the mentality to go ahead and push for what it is that you want to do, because they also understand, not because you will be a competitor in their field. Excuse me. People at the top like competition, because when you are at the top of the mountain, it is very, very lonely. And it's a common thing you see in fighting games, where when you are the best in your field and you're just smacking everybody at the top, you begin to resent the level of skill that you have, because you're not able to have those close matches that get people so excited. Or even having close matches are not daily opportunities. You have to go out and find other people at that level. So it's interesting. It is a very interesting place. Alright, well, I'm at the gym. It's great, it's great. I can't predict the future. And I can tell you now, I thought SpaceX was going to crash. Although, it slightly did. It went on the open market, peaked at 210, went underneath whatever it was supposed to be purchased at, which I believe was 150. It dipped below that. So people who already had stocks were able to pull out, making a pretty good profit. And now it's just an open stock for many people to put in their portfolios for the long run investment, because I want to say that since the genuine population is not working towards getting to Mars, you don't have workers and people ambitious enough to do that, it's still going to be a bit of a ways away. Although I won't speak too much, you never know when the next discovery will happen. But regardless, I will continue to do my thing. Continue to work on my soft skills. So yeah. I feel a little gut compelling to sit here a little bit longer. Something's telling me to sit here. Maybe it's the pre-workout telling me not to move, but I know I'm not the only person, especially at my age or in my generation, that feels not empty is not the word I want to say. And not hopeless. No, not hopeless. But unseen. And it's a blessing, because if you're in the public's eye, whatever you do apparently matters, and when your reputation is on the line like that, and people could slander you, this and that, that's a totally different thing. But I think underrepresented is the word. Why was it that all these adults pushed this narrative of going to college, and continue to even push this narrative now, even with the current economy, who see these numbers and still tell people to go to college? to go into debt. Why is it just a perpetuating trap to put people in here so we're all in the same boat? It is a toxic pull down. It's just a toxic pull down. And I'm understanding. Excuse me. And I'm understanding, or I'm beginning to see with a bit more clarity, the idea of walking alone, where you don't want to get stuck in this you're like flinging the arms off of you, where everybody's trying to hold you as you try to escape that, as you don't want to buy shit, as you don't want to be clung to the system. And it goes back to that feeling where I was like, I think I'm just going to flee to a different country. I was going to say Japan. I was like, I'll flee to a different country entirely. Because I don't want to be grasped by this culture of fucking pull-me-downs. And I believe it's even with my parents who are pull-me-downs. They're not these lifting, captivating people. They are just pull-me-downs. They are constant pull-me-downs. Social media is full of pull-me-downs. And I understand, again, it relates back to what I read, and it takes what it takes. That negativity is so much stronger. But why the fuck are we feeding off each other in this negative cycle continuously? And people wonder why immigrants who come to this country are able to do so much better, because they're not clung to the ideas that Americans, or the cultural ideas that Americans have placed amongst each other. We are just fucking Debbie fucking Downers. And it's so sad. And I can proudly say I'm an American for the freedoms and everything that it is. But I am not proud of the American culture. And you may say, well, you're a representative of this culture. What culture is there when we're this massive collage of people? But that's only because I live in California. Excuse me. Because go anywhere else across this country, and understand that it's still this giant cultural Debbie Downer place where we are all just, fuck it. It's been like this. We don't change shit. Because, like, it is so cyclic. And I just see it all the time. And I think it makes it more apparent in my life because it goes back to me playing video games. And this is my constant exposure to the people and the mentality of, the nation I live within. But how the fuck are we going to go and play a game that's supposed to be pleasurable and try to do your best, and you're just like, fuck it, I don't want to do this anymore. You're the one that loaded up the fucking game. Learn to play better. Learn to fucking communicate. Like, hey, I don't know this magic. Hey, I gotta be honest, I don't like this land. Hey, I don't like this playstyle. I gotta swap with someone. Like, genuinely. And there's open communication is what? Like, we're constantly told that you're made a fucking bitch or something for fucking talking, for being honest. And I want to say, yeah, that's how it is. Because the American culture, parents fucking shit down you whenever you have curiosity or want to speak honestly about something, because they go, no, that's how it's always been. No, this, no, that. And it's so fucking sad. It is so fucking sad. And it's depressing. And that's it. That's all I gotta say. I can't feed into the cycle. I can't continue to push this narrative out. But my cyclic expression of the system is to get rid of the system. And the only way I can really do that moving forward is by doing it through myself. I can't change other people. People will say that they want to change, but they don't change. Hell, look at me. I ate sweets even though I told myself I wasn't going to. It begins from within, and it begins with creating a system that works for me and is tailored for me, that works with my experiences. Understand that these fucking cookie cutter fucking templates the other people put out on social media that tell you, like, this is where it'll get you, are absolute bullshit. And steer people in the right direction, but do not teach the underlying concepts and skills that they need to learn in order to continually apply themselves, especially into all aspects of life. That's it. Thank you for listening. And yeah, it's fucking crazy. Crazy world we live in, but it's not crazy. No one's crazy. That was the first chapter of The Psychology of Money. I'm still reading Anti-Fragile. Got over Fat Tony and him making money on people that want to predict when you can't really predict because there's fucking prediction error and we don't know. So, yippee-ki-yay. See ya. Whew. Alright, today was a bit of a shorter workout, only because I have to take my little brother to tutoring, and I showed up later than normal, I suppose, even though I was awake earlier. So, yeah. Anyways, the word of the reflection is celestial. C-E-L-E-S-T-I-A-L. Celestial. Celestial. It's an adjective. It is one pertaining to the sky or the heavens. 2, heavenly, divine. It is from Latin descent of celestis or caelum, which means sky or heaven. Celestial. Divine, from the sky, from the heavens. Alright, time to get moving. Yes, gotta go. Wake this dude up, because he's probably not awake. But, yeah, I did standard cardio. I didn't do 10-10-10. I was low-key out of it. Actually, no, I was really out of it. I was really lost in the music. And I believe that's grand and beautiful that I was lost in the music, because this 30 minutes flew by, and I'm at, 2.7 out of, I think, 5.5 incline. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. I've been slowly increasing over these last few weeks. Started off at 2.3 at a 3 incline. So, overall, taking steps up, moving upwards. Pretty beautiful. Beautiful indeed. And then I did bicep and rear delts. So I did the no twist, seated incline, dumbbell curl, extremely long name. But it's because I can lift more weight when I do not twist those. I can lift more weight when I twist the dumbbells. I use a moment from the swing to then swing my arm up, give myself a bit of momentum. So this incline is supposed to put my back all the way back. Even my head, I have to make sure my head's all the way back too. Leave my arm fully extended down, and then do a bicep curl up. You're really focusing on the pull or the tension for the dumbbell hanging down below. And I did 5 sets of those. at 20 pounds, and I did 8 reps for 3 of them, and then 2 of them I did 10 reps. So the fact that I was able to do 10 reps towards the end means I should increase the weight or increase the time I have for each of the holds or the descent. I probably will go to 25. And I did standing bicep curls with a twist at 25 pounds as a drop set or a superset. I mean, a superset from the incline one. So I did the 20 pounds on the incline and then went and did those 25-pound curls, really get a burn and I'm pumping my bicep. Then I went to do rear delt flies on the machine. Yes, on the machine. I gotta say my shoulder and back mobility, the stretching is a little lacklustering. So I gotta work on doing a lot more back stretches and shoulder stretches to ensure that I keep my mobility for those muscles, especially as they begin to grow. So, yeah, I did 5 sets of that, and I can't see the exact weight on the stack, so I kind of just go by the number of plates. Last time I did it, which was, last week, I did why am I blanking? Oh, I just did 1 singular plate on there just to get a feel for it. Today I did 2. Can I do a lot more weight? Probably, but I still want to work on holding and having tension, and it is heavy. Don't get me wrong, it's heavy. And again, I have to remind myself that I'm coming back into the gym after taking a pause and after having an injury. So, yeah, very, very, very important to remind myself. So, it was more than last week. That's good. Again, next week will be more. And continue to increase the weights or the amount of reps for each of the exercises as I continue to put on more muscle. And I keep on reminding my body that we got to go ahead and drop the excess body fat. I was telling myself, me fucking destroying that rack of Oreos did not help. But I learned that I should allow myself sweets, i.e. the calories for those sweets in my meals. And so, go ahead, room for error. This is my error. You might say, well, just make the active choice to not do that. First step is admitting that I have an addiction. I like sweets. But it's not, it's like when you have one, it's a more of a eating, I don't want to say disorder, but eating tendency. Where if I have sweets, I just like, and actually regardless of a lot of food, actually, when I start to eat, I just like chomp. It's crazy. A lot of chomping. So, yeah. As much as meal prepping sounds like a beautiful actually, it is a beautiful strategy for work. Right now, since I'm living at my parents' and I'm not working, I'm eating their meals, eating their foods. God bless my parents. As I still get myself situated, and as I continue to apply for jobs, because I need a job to pay for my car payment, and my car insurance, and my phone bill, and my gym membership. Just waiting for someone to reach back out to me. Someone to reach back out. Now, I should do follow-ups, but I applied the other day, so give it a bit of time. But all this month is constantly applying, constantly looking, getting some job lined up. Hell, even if I have to go work at Dick's Sporting Goods, I'll go work at Dick's Sporting Goods because I gotta make some motion. And I am willing to do that. Hell, if push comes to shove and I have to go work in the fields, the agricultural fields, hell, so be it. I gotta do what I gotta do. But that is a last resort, not a first one. Because I do have experience already and education that I can leverage for a job. Actually, I've already proved to myself that I could have a job outside and after college with the title as a chemist. So, yeah, it's about the opportunity of rising. And taking the action for these opportunities. This is no longer a workout reflection. This is a life reflection. Truly. Yeah, what can I say? I gotta get a bit of a squeeze on my biceps. For my rear delts, go ahead and really do that squeeze at that top motion and hold the weight there. Between each sets, I actually do dynamic stretching or like dynamic holds, like where I flex the muscle that I'm working out and put some tension on it with just my body weight. So, yeah, it feels pretty good when I do that, to be honest. It feels pretty good. So yeah, yesterday I went on a nasty losing streak on Deadlock, like horribly nasty. Like I lost, I don't know how many games. To be fair, I'm not gonna say it's deserved, but I was not fully engaged with the game and actually practicing the next steps to get past the point where I'm at right now at this like Archon level. So, I can't be mad. Again, it's just the video game. At the end of the day, it's not life or death. I should treat it as life or death to go ahead and improve. But if I do that, then I'm just spoiling the pleasure that I have with the game. But the game is an extension of my life. It is another part of my life. It is not my life, but has been a huge part of my life. Video games as a whole. I've been playing Half-Life 2, actually. Playing Half-Life 2 has been quite a bit of fun. It's not like the puzzles here and there. A lot of shooting. It's pretty damn good, not gonna lie. I can understand. The whole Half-Life 2 shenanigans. My dad is still home, surprisingly. Interesting. Alrighty. I had to make this one short. I gotta go wake this guy up. So, thank you for listening. Until next time. Sayonara. I don't even know what that means. Maybe say see you later or something like that. In some language.